Laurel wilt is a disease it's an exotic disease that's been affecting the Lauraceae, the entire laurel family in the southeastern United States since approximately 2002. And it's actually the interaction between a non-native invasive ambrosia beetle, Xylebris glabratus, which you can see here in an enlarged version. This is a very small beetle, actually, about the size of Lincoln's nose on a penny, but you can see what it looks like enlarged. This beetle is native to southeastern Asia and was introduced. And it carries a fungus. Ambrosia beetles actually, that's part of their biology, that they have symbiotic fungi that they carry with specialized structures typically, and they feed on these fungi. They have part of their biology is that they usually bore into trees and introduce fungi into the host tree and then feed on the fungus as part of their life history. This particular fungus that this beetle carries, Rhaphalia lauricola, is highly virulent to our native Lauraceae and causes the laurel trees in the Lauraceae to rapidly wilt and die. And so they get a wilt disease. That is, the fungus causes the vascular system in the tree, the water conducting tissues, to effectively shut down and die in a very short period of time. So that's why this is called laurel wilt. And it affects a wide range of species, including red bay and other bay trees like silk bay and swamp bay. It also affects sassafras. It affects cultivated avocado. It affects some other lesser known Lauraceae, such as spice bush and pond spice, and some others that are critically endangered, like lancewood from South Florida, for example, is affected. And so this is a very important disease, very, very important. It's causing lots and lots of damage, ecological damage, as well as economic damage from the impact that it causes to avocado. So to identify this disease, there's a few things that we look for. For one thing, we look for rapidly wilting and dying laurel trees, so Lauraceae. So whether it be red bay, which rapidly wilting trees, you see dead trees that with desiccated brown leaves. That it happens very, very quickly, and usually it's the entire tree or big portions of the tree that are showing this in a very quick, within just a few days this can happen. It can kill an entire tree within 10 days, so it's very, very fast. But more importantly, to recognize this, usually we take the bark off, or we pull, we'll scrape away the bark, and we look for vascular discoloration, black streaking under the bark, and that's a characteristic symptom of this disease. For most of these hosts, we'll see this black discoloration, which is a common characteristic symptom. In addition, the beetle activity is often present. It's not always present, though. You have to catch it at the right time, because the beetles, if they just infected the tree, you won't see a lot of beetle activity. But after a few weeks, you will start to see that beetle activity. Early on, you will see what we call the boring dust, or sometimes referred to as the boring, or the dust noodles, or sometimes referred to as noodles, because they look like little strings of boring dust coming out. Because when the beetles are boring into the tree, they're pushing out the chewed up, basically wood material that they've chewed up, and it'll come out in these strings that look like they're coming out of the tree. But those are only there for a short period of time, and any type of rain or wind will knock those off. However, the holes that they make are present, and you can see here these holes that are, there's holes that are going basically directly into the tree, but you can see some that are somewhat tangential. And then if we look at the cross section, we can see some of their galleries. We call those galleries because that's where the eggs are laid and where they're cultivating the fungus inside the tree, and you can see some of their galleries present in the wood. And you can also see where this has been cut away, you can see the holes that they've made as well. So those are that provides evidence for the beetle. Now the beetle itself, here's some their actual size of the beetle. Xylebris glabratus. These were collected locally here, but you can see just how small they are. They're very, very, very small. So to identify laurel wilt, you want to look for the symptoms of the wilting trees, look for the vascular discoloration under the bark, and then for the beetle activity. Now, for positive diagnosis, if you're really wanting to confirm that you had the disease present, it's not enough just to look for symptoms. You actually need to do lab testing, because there are some things that can look similar to this, especially on things like avocado and sassafras. And so there are some lab tests that can be done to confirm the disease.